Hello friends, welcome back to the next video lecture, next lecture of VbScript. In this lecture, what we're gonna discuss is multiple functions available in VbScript. This is a very important section, so please pay more attention towards this section. Let's go to QTP, open a new test, okay, and discuss all these functions one by one. Let's name this test as VB underscore inbuilt functions. Okay. So all these functions are what? These functions are inbuilt functions. We need not to write these functions. These functions are provided through VbScript. So all those things which are the reserved keywords in VbScript, as soon as you write it, they will turn in dark blue in color. That means this is a reserved keyword in VbScript. So let's first discuss what is an array. So what is an array? We can say array is a collection of variables stored under the same name. What is it? It is collection of variables stored under same name. Okay. How do we declare an array? We declare an array with the again with the same keyword dim, but then we write x, the variable name, let's say x, and then in bracket we need to define the length of the array. What is the length of the array? Let's say I want to define an array of 3 length. I'll write 2 here. Confusing, correct? I'm saying I'm defining array of length 3 and I'm writing 2. That is because the array always starts from 0 element. So now I have defined an array of 3 elements. Now if I have to assign the values to this array, what I'll say x of 0 is equal to, let's say a, x of 1 is equal to, let's say b, and x of 2 is equal to, let's say c. And so in this fashion I assign the values to the array. Okay, now if I want to print the values, I'll say message box x of 0. This will print me what? This will print me a. Okay, similarly if I say message box x of 1 or x of 2, it will print me b and c respectively. So if I say message box x of 1, it will print me b, and if I say message box x of 2, it will print me c. Now the second keyword that we want to see is L-bound. What is L-bound? This gives the lower boundary of the array. That means if I say message box L bound of x, it will print me 0. The lower boundary, that means from where your array is starting. The lower boundary of any array is always 0. Now U-bound, as the name suggests, this gives me the upper boundary of the array. Upper boundary of the array. So if I say U-bound of x, this will print me what? This will print me 2. Okay. Let's try to run the code till here. Then we'll comment it and then we'll move ahead. So I declared an array. I assigned values to that array, and now I'm printing the values A, B, and C, upper boundary and lower boundary. Okay. Just to add to it, instead of printing values like this, okay, I can also do it with the help of a for loop. How I can do it? Print with for loop. Okay. So I'll say for I is a iterator that is equal to L bound of X to U bound of X. Okay. Message box X of I. Okay. So first time I will be 0, L bound of X will be 0, U bound will be 2. First time I will be 0, so it will print me what? A. Then I become 1, it will print me 2. Then I becomes 2, it will print me C. Let's try to execute this. The lower boundary is 0, upper boundary is true, and the loop is printing me A, B, and C. Okay. Now we are seeing that after executing the test, again and again this result panel is displayed. Okay, and let's say if you don't want to see this result panel, what we have to do? We have to go to options, run session. There is setting here, view results at the end of the every session. So I uncheck it and save it, and then save the test. Now if I run it, I'll not see this result panel open again and again. Okay. Now let's discuss what is the split function. Okay. So consider consider a problem statement that I have a string like dim y is equal to Sachin underscore Jindal. Okay. And the situation is that you have to break this string and print me Sachin and Jindal in two separate message boxes. How will I do it? So this is a string that is separated by a delimiter. I can see it. The delimiter is underscore, and I have to print Sachin in one message box and Jindal in the other message box. So how I can do that? I have to use this split function here. Okay. So what split function does? Okay, it takes a string. Okay, it takes a string as an input parameter and splits is it on the basis of the delimiter that we have provided as an input parameter, and this is the most important part, returns a array. Okay, that means if I say y is equal to split what I want to split, sorry, not y, let's say z is equal to split what I want to split. My input string is y and I want to split it on the basis of a delimiter that is underscore. Okay, and then now I know what is this z. This z will become an array. So now if I want to print the values of this array, I'll start a for loop like this from L bound of z to U bound of z and message box z of I. So it will print me what? It will print me in first time it will print me Sachin and second time it will print me Jindal. Let's try this out. Let's comment this and run this. So let's write it like this for once. Dim y is equal to Sachin Jindal. Okay. So it is printing me Sachin, it is printing me Jindal. So this split is a very important function that is used when you start doing programming in QTP. You have to use this a number of times. Okay, I'll comment this portion. Now there is a length function. What this length function does, it gives me the length of the string. That means if I say dim x is equal to Canada and I say message box len of x, what it will print me? It will print me 6. Okay, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6. 6 is the length of the given string. Let's run it and say it. So it is printing me 6. Now consider a problem statement before discussing this. Okay, that we have two variables dim x comma y. X is having a value Sachin, or let's make it Canada. Okay, and y is having a value Canada. Okay, if I try to compare these values, x is equal to y, message box values are same, else message box values are not same. Okay, what will be the output? The output here will be the values are not same, even though in plain English if we see Canada and Canada with two spaces are same thing, but since there are two spaces in terms of any language, this string will not compare. This will always give me the what? That these values are not same. So in practical examples, when I'm executing a script and all, and I'm trying to compare two values, okay, always I use the keywords like trim. Okay, what trim does? It removes the spaces from both the ends of the given string. So consider this string was something like this. Okay, so if I say message box trim of x, trim of y, it will print me what? It will print me Canada. Okay, now let's see ltrim and rtrim. What is ltrim? As the name suggests, if I say ltrim of y, it will only trim the spaces at the left side of the string. So in this case the output will be somewhat like this, and if we say rtrim, it will trim the value at the right end of the screen of the given string. So the value would be somewhat like this. The value printed would be somewhat like this. Okay, so now if I want to compare these values, okay, what I'll do is now because I know trim, I'll say trim of my first value and trim of my, I will suffix these variables with this particular function. So even now if my values are something like this, okay, ideally both of these values are same, okay, but since there was some space it was not matching, and now after I have applied trim statements, let's see what is the output. So initially the values were not same. Trim gives me Canada. This trim gives me Canada. Because of the white space, I'm not able to see the space that is there on the right and left side. And this gives me, the last statement gives me the values are same.